Go ahead.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Not a Trekkie, an all Star Wars Everything podcast brought to you by Red Cyclone Inc. Everything from New Hope to Rogue One, even that Solo one, from Anakin and Obi-Wan to Rey left being the only one now. I cannot stress this anymore. There is no hate. But this ain't Stargate, this ain't Star Trek, this is Star Wars. I'm your host, Tenacious T. My co-host for the Not a Trekkie podcast, the Merc with the Mic.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Not a Trekkie.
Yes, which we have the last movie in the Star Wars universe, I would say.
Yep.
Right?
So,
unless they do any animated movies? No, they didn't do any.
Well, they did one that's part of the Clone Wars.
Okay, which we will get to that future when we dive down into that one. But today's episode is Solo,
a Star Wars story.
A Star Wars story. And you have to say a Star Wars story. You have to say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Yes.
Came out 2018. It was rated PG-13. It ran for a minute, hour, 135 minutes. It's considered action-adventure. And, what else? And it was directed by Ron Howard.
Ron Howard did it? I did not even know that. I fucking love Ron Howard's movies, man.
Too bad.
Good old Richie Cunningham, man.
Yeah.
For all you newbies out there that aren't as old as us, you know what I mean? Richie Cunningham is Happy Days. Yeah. But he's more of a director than he is Richie Cunningham. You know, he did American Graffiti 1 and 2. Apollo 13 probably is his biggest box office one. Yeah. Not to mention like numerous movies and shows and documentaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Ron Howard is the man.
Yeah, his brother's in the movie too.
His brother's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, his brother was in it.
His brother always plays the dumb guy in everything.
Yeah. And
he was actually famous before he was.
Yeah. So
I remember he got the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah. So we have Alden Ehrenreich. He was Han Solo. Jonas Samato was Chewbacca. Woody Harrelson was Beckett. Amelia Clark. Amelia Clark. That's her.
Yeah, Clark.
It was Kiara.
Which she is famous for being
the Mother of Dragons.
Mother Dragon. Yes, Game of Thrones. Which oh my lord, she's so gorgeous. Yeah. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but she's just love her to death. And then one of my favorite people of nowadays plays Calrissian, Lando Calrissian.
Yeah,
which is
Donald
Glover.
Yeah,
he's the fucking man, bro. He really is. And there was so many things that he did in this movie that really made him sound like what's his face?
Billy D.
Who played? Who played?
Billy D.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
He actually played him very well.
Yeah, he had his mannerisms. He did a really good job, like capturing
the little smooth. Because Billy D. is always known for like that being that smooth guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he just had that. He put the voice down and he killed it. I think he did a great job.
Yeah. We had Danae Newton as Val. We had Phoebe Waller-Bridge as L337, and Paul Bentley as Dryden Voss, which, if you know him, he's Vision. And
well, if you knew him like I knew him, he was that prophet guy from Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons.
Yeah, no one's gonna know that. So Vision.
I know nobody's gonna know that. But so, that's where I originally know him from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he came on my radar as that because honestly, bro, and I said this to you before our cast even started, that we are so shadowed on the fact of him being Vision. You know what I mean? Like he was a phenomenal bad guy, bro. He is such a good bad guy. He can play that. His voice, that English accent, well, that English-esque. I'm not actually sure if he's from England or anything like that.
No,
but
he's English.
But like the way his tone, every bad guy needs to have that signature voice.
Yeah.
And he's got that. He kills it.
John Favreau actually lends his voice too. He's Rio Durant.
Yeah. I saw that in the credits at the end of the
Yeah.
movie. I was like, good for you, buddy.
And it's another familiar face if you're catching up with the Falcon Winter Soldier, Erin Kellerman. She was in this movie as well. She's that redheaded chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the freckled girl.
Yeah, she's in this movie as well.
She is like the Universal Soldier of nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when this movie first came out, were you excited for it at all?
You know,
like, were you?
So
now we're banking off of the Solo world, and not Solo. We're banking off of the trilogy that's coming out now. Obviously, we don't have the trilogy as of yet at this moment in time.
Yeah.
But we do have Rogue One.
Yeah.
Rogue One did come out, and that's, in our opinion, I know a lot of people don't agree, but it's probably the best Star Wars movie to date.
So this came out between the new trilogy. It came out I think after Last Jedi.
Okay. Were you excited for it? Was there any anticipation to go see it in the theaters and stuff?
So with Solo, I honestly, I'll be straight up. I did not care for this movie, just because from where I was seeing where the movie was going to be taken as, it didn't really give me an origin story or just a big story that it's going to be an epic battle. I'm just it's just a Solo. What he's going to do?
It's a solo movie.
Yeah. So there was things about it that I just didn't really care for. It wasn't something I was looking forward to. Then also Last Jedi kind of gave a bad taste in my mouth too.
Yeah.
So
no,
I
don't blame you.
I was in that Star Wars I really don't want to see
now,
Star Wars movie
at this time, if you've listened to our previous cast, I wasn't, as a kid, I didn't watch these movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took me to become an adult to watch them. But I tell you, this was the only movie that recently in the recent years that came out that I did not give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't care about going to the movie theaters and seeing Rogue One. I definitely did.
Yeah.
Rogue One, I needed to see that, and I saw it multiple times. Every other one of the trilogy, I needed to see that in the theater. I needed that part of my history.
Yeah.
When Solo came out, I was like, this is just a money. This is just a world expansion. Let's bank on the fact that Harrison Ford is old as shit, but let's keep the Han Solo thing going.
And it was after his character died.
Yeah, it definitely was. So it's hey, let's bring back the younger him. You know what I mean?
One of my biggest key issues with this movie is the timeline and where does it take place.
Well, technically,
did I hit you up when I asked that? I'm not sure if I did or not.
Well, I remember us having a conversation when this movie first came out, and we both collectively found out that the history of him is that he was actually raised by Wookiees, which is the reason why he knows how to speak Wookiee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
so
it's more it's not even like Chewbacca and things like that. It's more about the stormtroopers.
Yeah, there wasn't really.
So if this was taking place before, the timeline of where this is and how young Han Solo is supposed to be, the stormtroopers won't make sense depending on the timeline where he's at.
But this is pre Rogue One. This is pre Rogue One 100%. So this is probably the earliest movie in a timeline.
So this will be within Revenge of the Sith and Clone Wars. It'll be between that timeline. Or probably even before that, after that.
It definitely has to be after because I think Darth Vader is older than him. So Anakin Skywalker is older than Han Solo. Because how old was Han Solo in the movies? He was in his 20s, right?
He was in 30s or something like that.
No, I think he was in his 20s. I would say 26, 27. You know what I mean? Rambunctious, fucking young, dumb, full of cum.
Because he's supposed to be in his 20, 21, 22 here.
Yeah. So this would definitely be Mandalorian times.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's the best way I can describe it, which is a very broad statement. We don't really have a definitive moment. You know what I mean? But this is definitely prequels. All right, so it's not the earliest one. This would be probably the fourth. This would be the fourth movie in the timeline.
Yeah.
Because then it would go.
So it's 10 years before episode 4. And since 19 years passed between 3, so that makes sense then. Because my thing was my only thing was the stormtroopers. Like, wouldn't it be Clone Troopers if it was this far back? But I was not sure about the timeline.
But Mandalorian didn't have really too many.
Well, Mandalorian is farther. Mandalorian is supposed to be
after the Last Jedi. Yeah.
It's after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. So yeah, my bad.
Yeah. So this
I've been drinking a little bit.
Yeah. So this one takes place 10 years before episode 4, which all right, that makes sense. So. Yeah, so he had to be. He had to be like early 30s in New Hope.
So it would go the prequels, this Rogue One, then originals.
I will say because this will go before because it's 10 years, and Rogue One is right before.
Rogue One is literally right before a New Hope. Literally,
exactly.
Opening. The ending scene is the beginning scenes of, you know what I mean? So that does make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead.
Well, continue. No, continue. Go ahead.
No, for the most part, like this movie, I would say if it wasn't a solo movie, I would have enjoyed it more. But the fact that it was in fact, it was about a character that I knew. So my thing with this movie is the
well-loved character throughout the history of pop culture. So yeah, I feel you.
So my only gripe with this also is the fact that I have read Han Solo books. Yeah, off the Dark Horse comics and things like that. Those old novels they used to have.
Shouts out to Dark Horse. They had a lot of good shit, man.
So I remember reading one. It was supposed to be before his time and things like that, and him being like the little runt he was, and like the little I don't know how to say it now. Rambunctious kid and shit like that, and stealing and trying to like gamble his way to better things and things like that. And he always like a lot of risk and things like that. I thought it would be based more in those kind of lines of stuff, but it going to where it was like it felt like it didn't have a beginning. It just had a start, and that was it.
They lived in a captured community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They basically lived in like concentration camps. That's the best way I can describe it. The world was under like martial law. You know what I mean? And they needed to buy their way out.
Yeah.
So that's where they were. You know what I mean? And that's where Emilia Clarke is, and that's where whatever his face is, you know, Han Solo.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, I enjoyed this movie, but the problem was him.
Yeah.
He is not Han Solo. I think at this time in the universe of Star Wars, we could have made a holographic version of Harrison Ford.
I think people would have bitched about
that. They definitely would have, but it would have made it better because he is not Han Solo. And that is the problem with this movie. He is not Han Solo. I did not believe him. He did not have the same... Like, Han Solo was this monotoned, like, cocky-ass dude that got caught up in his shit all the time. Like, this guy was a snarky, smirky guy. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like he felt himself way too much more than actually Han Solo did. Han Solo did things to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He did things to like manipulate and like, don't get me wrong, that's a Han Solo trait and stuff, but it was not him.
Yeah.
So if they would have made this movie not a Solo movie but a Star Wars movie, it would have worked.
Yeah.
Just like Rogue One worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rogue One worked, and there was no definitive characters in that movie that was tied into until the ending. And don't get me wrong, there's Darth Vader and there's like stuff like that, so you're still in that universe. But the main characters weren't in any of the movies. So if you would have had him just be a guy, it would have worked a lot better. So if you watch this movie, now hear me out. Watch this movie and think of him not as Han Solo, and it would be a good-ass movie. It really would. It would be so good.
Yeah. Like, I don't have issues with the actor as part of how they want to portray it and shit like that. I thought he was okay. It's just, again, I have a different view of what I thought how Han Solo thing should be, even though I didn't really care to know his past. Like I kind of got where you would have gotten off of it, but I think this movie itself was really strong on the side cast, more on the co-stars than the character lead himself.
But now the thing is, in any of the 6 movies that Han Solo is in, has it ever mentioned him being in the Imperial Army ever?
No.
That's where that fucked up to me.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, he was part of the Imperial Army. I get him ended up becoming a con artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which tied into the lines of probably the best character in the movie, which is Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson is the man in fucking everything. So, like, I shouts out to him because he definitely killed it. But that showed, like, where his, his con artist ways were, like, how he, like, he went into the Army so he could become a pilot, so he can steal a plane to go back and find his girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, a little quick little recap of what happened was they were together, him, Amelia Clarke. I forget her name in the movie. I just always know her as Amelia Clarke.
Yeah.
Fucking Daenerys Starborn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were together, so they found a way to buy their freedom. So they had to smuggle this thing in, and as they were going through the gate closed as they grabbed the girl, and he got free and she got captive. So the whole beginning part of the movie is him. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to sell my soul to the Imperial Army. I'm going to become a fighter pilot, and I'm going to fly in and I'm going to save her. So that's what he's doing at this time. You know what I mean? We don't know Han Solo to ever give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even with Princess Leia, he always played that shit smooth. That's not Han Solo, bro. Han Solo in this movie did not do that. He was a helpless romantic in this movie.
Yeah.
He was chasing his heart, which maybe probably paved into the way of the reason why he did treat Leia the way he treated her. You know what I mean? Which I do now think about it does make a little sense. Like, I don't want to hurt my heart. You know what I mean? But that's not Han Solo that we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's going to be my entire argument.
Yeah.
This whole cast is that he is not Han Solo.
Han Solo.
He's not.
All right, so we're going to another cast. I think they did get a perfect person in Lando Calrissian. I thought he was probably one of my favorite characters too.
Fucking Donald Glover is the man, bro.
Because he tried his best to emulate what this guy did and was great at it. And
look at the history between them. You know, Lando stabbed Han Solo in the back in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he did that to save his city, and I get that. And then you saw the altercation between them, so the altercation in this movie made that believable to me.
Yeah.
And also down the lines of how did he accommodate the Millennium Falcon, which was in a game of cards.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? So for that lineup, for them, the meeting, like the first meetup, I thought that was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
It really was. And then that's when we got the introduction to Donald Glover, which killed it. He definitely killed it.
Yeah. And then, again, I felt like a lot of the side characters were just better characters and whatnot. Woody Harrelson is probably one of my favorite characters in this movie. And he usually is one of my favorite characters in most movies he does. He always plays a fucking weird-ass character or a very sadistic bad guy as well, depending on what character you want him to play.
Listen, man, the catalog of him is amazing. Just look at Natural Born Killers alone.
Yeah.
And if that's not Cletus Cassidy, which is Carnage, which is coming out soon, which they couldn't have casted a better person to play, because that is Cletus Cassidy. You know what I mean? Woody Harrelson deserves like a statue somewhere. He really does. He's the man. He does. He doesn't disappoint. Name a movie that he's bad in.
Nah, again, I like Woody Harrelson. So usually, if he's in a movie, I'm more happier that he's in the movie. Like fucking, I remember going to see Zombieland like randomly.
Yeah, and he's fucking
got
awesome.
Yeah,
bro.
so we went. So I was hanging out with my buddies and shit like that, and they were giving like free movies tickets out to see it. So we were like, oh fuck it, let's go see it. And I didn't even know nothing about this movie, but then I saw Woody Harrelson. I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson's great in everything, bro. He's like Bill Murray of nowadays, bro.
Yeah.
But Bill Murray's Bill Murray. You know what I mean? Like
he's also.
Bill Murray is one of the goats in my eyes,
Yeah.
and I truly, when that man dies, I will be just as upset as fucking like Stan Lee dying, because like he's been in my life forever. But Woody Harrelson, like, his catalog is just so good, and his presence on screen is awesome. You know what I mean? Like him being the person that he is, he's a he infiltrated the Imperial Army.
Yeah.
And like, he was not even part of the Imperial Army, but he was a smuggler. He was a con man, and he was after money. You know what I mean? He was out on a mission from what's his face. I'm just gonna say Vision, because I never know this man's name.
Vision.
But so he had his own squad, and Solo realized it because this guy was, this lieutenant in this army that everybody knew who he was, but he wasn't in the fucking army.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he had his girl, you saw his vulnerable side. You watched that whole big scene, which that whole scene was awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was a straight take out of Shadows of the Empire, and I mentioned that to you before this cast. That whole train scene, and then she ended up killing herself, which to me was like the definitive moment between him that made him tell Solo, like, yo, listen, you don't trust nobody, because I'm going to stab you in the back before you even know it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But Solo was like sort of banging on him like a father figure a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, this is my guy. We're stuck doing these missions together, and he's dropping gems on him, like, don't trust nobody, don't do this, don't do that, and like, he never listened to him.
Yeah.
Never listened to him. Like, his character was probably in the Star Wars world was probably the most informative teacher.
Yeah.
Besides, he's down the lines of Obi-Wan and Yoda to me.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not meshing with him is he has no force.
No force or patience.
Or patience, or like respect.
Yoda had no
You know what I
patience.
mean?
I'm gonna die if you keep talking to me.
If you keep talking, I'm going to kill myself.
I'm gonna
And then he
sleep
kept,
eternally.
and then he slept, and then he kept talking, and he's like, "I warned you," and then he died.
Like,
Stop talking, Luke. Tired of your Can you leave my planet, please?
Well, make me a Jedi. No.
You can't even let me die in peace. You had to fuck everything up. And then Yoda had to go to him in The Last Jedi. It's like, bitch, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Why am I still coming to you?
It was
dead.
Yeah, it was funny because when he actually lined up betraying them and shit like that, I was like, he told you this.
It's like, I told you this fucking forever, man.
Yo, this
You don't listen, you piece of shit.
Yo,
That's why you were never a Jedi Knight. That's why you were never a Jedi Knight. Because you don't listen, you piece of shit.
No, in this movie, like, especially when he like lined up betraying them and shit like that, I was like, dude, he told you this whole movie he's gonna fucking betray you.
Yeah, he said,
Like, he
"Come
told
with
you."
me. Come with me now." He's like, "Come with me.
Yeah.
If not, you're not gonna like what happens."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then, whoa, you were so surprised of like the backstabbing at the end. Like, no, bitch. What's his face was going to kill him.
Yeah.
No matter what happened, he got set out for the mission. So he went out. They went out for the mission. They failed the mission. They went back and basically groveled. He groveled like, "I'm sorry, like this shit happened." And then Han Solo came up with the whole idea of getting more of this. What were they? It was like a fuel thing, right? It was like worth 500 units or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
It's like worth a lot of money in it. The second that they put it in the Millennium Falcon, which does tie into the whole the whole thing about the 12 parsecs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he did the what was the run? The Kessel Run.
Yeah.
In 12 parsecs, which is completely, on you can't do that shit. But now that makes sense. Like, I like how they tied that into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they did a little drop and it sent them into fucking hyperspeed.
Yeah.
But they were in dead space. They weren't even in anything.
Yeah.
They were outside of a wormhole, which is crazy. I thought that whole scene, I thought that whole build up was fucking awesome. It looked good, and they did it. They did that so well.
Yeah.
But I like how that tied in. But like Woody Harrelson, you know what I mean? He's like I'm about to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he's like Han Solo saved him from that. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but you're trying to double cross the guy that was trying to kill me. He was like, "Fuck you, bro. You need to come with me now, and let's give him this shit. If not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm turning your ass in."
Yeah.
He basically said that to him,
Yeah.
and then he was so surprised when it happened. Oh my god! He's like, "Bitch, you never listen to me. I've been telling you from the beginning, don't trust nobody." But that's the arrogance of Han Solo.
That's
right?
the moral of this story, of this movie. Don't trust nobody.
Don't trust nobody. Don't trust anybody in Star Wars,
No,
bro.
nobody.
Don't.
Except for the Wookiee.
Don't. Hey,
The Wookiee always
no.
will lead you the right way.
And R2D2, man.
Yeah, R2D2 will. Unless he don't like you. then he'll lead you the right way.
C3PO's got your back, but he'll annoy the shit out of you in the process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the Wookiee, if you got into the heart of Chewbacca, you're
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean? But also, I did enjoy, there was those little things that nodded to the other movies.
Yeah.
Remember when he ripped the guy's arms off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's where he got that from.
Yeah,
for,
when he was playing him in the fucking game, yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like they did tie it in. They tried to make this a Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
But the guy's not Han Solo, bro. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah. He's not. But yeah.
He's definitely not.
Wookiee was good. Chewbacca was good.
Well, you know, you can't go wrong with Chewbacca, bro. You know, and then you actually find out the age of Chewbacca. He was like 190 years old or some shit, right?
Yeah.
He was like, oh shit. So, how old was he in? We said this in the cast, but he had to have been what, like 200 and
Yeah, he was like 300.
he was like 230 years old. No, he was like 200 because this is 40 years. I would say about collectively 40, 50 years at this point.
Well, the lady
together.
said his age. The little thing that liked him. She said his age.
Maz?
Yeah, she said
Maz?
his age. I think he was like two something.
He's like 230, 240 years old.
Yeah.
I like that Wookiee. Where's my husband? Shouts out to her. She was an awesome character.
Yeah. So she said his age, and that's where I learned his age. Like he's older. He's a lot older. He lived for generations.
What was crazy though? What was the name of the machine that droid? Because every movie has to have a droid in it.
The LC, I just had it.
That became the AI of the Millennium Falcon,
Yes.
which I thought was a cool thing, because like she was pretty cool, and she kept saying how her and Lando had like this relationship going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it made it sound really weird until she got killed, until she got fucked up. And then you actually saw Lando actually have like, oh, that's my girl. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what was Lando doing, bro? Like, the girl was like, "Don't worry, it works." Like he was putting it on her. Like that was kind of weird. That was probably the most awkward moment in Star Wars.
Yeah, she was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was L3.
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 She was cool. You know, one thing about Star Wars is that we always got to have a droid. We always got to have a big monster.
Yeah.
There's always a big monster, and there's always like a droid that stands out over everybody. You know what I mean? Collectively, that's just the format, and you can never go wrong with it.
Yeah, it works.
You know what I mean?
What works, it works. Yeah, it was a fun. It was a good for what it was. It was a good action movie. Would I say it was better than some of the Star Wars movies we have watched before? Yes, I will say it was.
Oh, it's definitely better than the Phantom Menace. I think it's better than the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I think it's better than the Last Jedi.
Yeah, I have it over the Last Jedi.
And then I would leave it right there. Leave it right there.
Yeah.
because Attack of the Clones is better than it. Revenge of the Sith is better than it. Force Awakens is better. Rise of Skywalker is better. All the original 4, 5, and 6 is better.
Yeah.
And Rogue One is better. So this would definitely be the third to last on the list.
So right now we have 11
but
movies.
Oh man. 11 movies we went through.
Yeah, 11 movies.
Hey man, I enjoyed every second of it because I go through these every year.
Yeah.
I watch them every year. You know what I mean? And May 4th is coming up soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you don't watch at least A New Hope on May 4th, like I don't know if I want to be your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about people in the universe. I don't care if you watch it. We've watched it enough and talked about it enough.
I'm
You know
good
what I mean?
to not watch it for a bit.
But that's a tradition. It's like if I have off on May 4th, which I'm not sure exactly what day May 4th lies on. I'm going to look that up right now.
Tuesday.
May 4th is a Tuesday. Yeah, I'm not fitting 3 movies in that day. But I will watch A New Hope that day. Any specific standout highlights of this? Because I think we talked about.
I think we talked about the ones that really meant something for me in this movie. But again, like Woody Harrelson's character is probably one of my favorite things. So losing a lot of the scenes with him was made the movie worth watching. Kiara's stuff, like heel turn, was kind of like fucked up, and I now can understand why he's so mean to women. Like drifted to like the way Han Solo is, kind of actually makes sense now.
Yeah, it does, but you know what I mean. This ain't the Han Solo that we know, but I guess we needed a story to make him be that cold con artist.
I love that the original R2-D2 guy was there in this movie.
No, that's
not him, right?
That's the Leprechaun, bro.
Yeah, he was in Willow.
That's Willow. Yeah, no. The original R2-D2 died.
No, he died
after.
What?
Yeah, he died after A Force Awakens.
What else he played then? I think he was in.
He wasn't. You talking about Willow?
No,
you talking about Willow?
Yeah, he was
talking about the guy from Willow.
Movies.
Oh, bro, you want me to break down the list of all the shit
I know what
he's
in. No, he's in
every Harry Potter, every single Harry Potter. He was in Willow. He's in Ray. He's the Leprechaun.
Star Wars stuff. Like he was in other Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely is. But he's probably the most famous small guy.
Yeah.
Besides Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. Now he's
you know what I mean?
Taking it to storm. Yeah. Other than that, like again, I don't have a lot of crazy things to say about it. Like I thought the movie as an action movie was a fun movie. Was better than some of the Star Wars movies we went through. Again, I wish more of original story and just more to get me in more involved with the character of Solo and
selling it a little bit more. You know what I mean?
I feel like I just didn't have an investment into the character, and that was the one thing that hurt the movie for me.
Well, the best way for me to describe it is when the movie came out, I did not give a fuck. When I first watched it, I fell asleep halfway through it. When it came up for us in the Not a Trekkie podcast to watch it, I fell asleep through it again. and then I watched it twice within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm upset that I didn't go and see it in the theaters because I think I would have enjoyed it in the theaters if I had the mentality that I have of it now.
Yeah, like
of
the
him,
action scenes,
like I said. I mean, like, you can't go wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. You have some classic old stuff. You have some things that tie into the old movies. You know what I mean? But we do know a little bit now of the Star Wars universe, and that's not Han Solo, bro. It's not. It's just, that's my overall thing. If he was just a character, it would be a dope-ass movie. It would be so good.
Yeah. Again, I feel like, he needed a bit more character building on him. Like, there was not much on him. So, for him to be the main character in the movie, he needed more of a more...
I would have taken a Wookiee movie.
Yeah. But
it would just been a whole bunch of that.
Yeah. It is what it is, though.
I mean, you know what? For an era where they milk things and they try to saturate and take as much money out of something. It worked. They worked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't go wrong with it. It was good for what it was. It missed its mark in some places, but it did have some high points. It did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Emilia Clarke, I know we didn't really talk about her too much and too much of her character, because what ended up happening with her is that, the whole time, the first quarter of the movie, he's trying to find her, and then he finds her, but she's working for the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, I thought about you, but why are you still thinking about me? Which is like every woman on the fucking planet. This guy is doing something selfless, told you, he promised you, he'd come back for you, and now he's back for you, and you're like, why? You know what I mean? So that was more realistic than anything else in the world to me. You know what I mean? But she was awesome because they rekindled their thing, and she stabbed what's his face in the back. She physically was the one that killed the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I like that. You know what I mean? She did what she had to do to survive. And Woody Harrelson's character even said the reason why she didn't go back to him at the end.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, she's a survivor.
Yeah.
She survived this long without you. He's like, you're not listening to me. Listen to me, bro. And then he finally did. And he fucking killed him.
This whole movie.
You know what I mean?
Telling you to listen.
Listen to me. And then he has to die.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't listen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Actually, he finally did listen. It's like, yo, Woody Harrelson is the best representation of Yoda, bro. It's like, I'm tired of your shit. I had to come back at you.
Yeah.
He's probably the closest, besides the whole Force thing. He's like Yoda of the outside world. Like, you don't listen to me, man. I've been telling you fucking forever, shut the fuck up and do what I tell you to do. And now I gotta die.
Yeah. All right.
You killed me, just like Luke Skywalker killed him.
Yeah. So I have our list of our top 11 movies. I have yours in mind.
Pop this on the third to the last.
Yeah, I think it went to the same spot as mine as well. So yours is Rogue One, Empire, New Hope, Rise of Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, Solo, Last Jedi, and Phantom Menace. Those are yours.
Yes.
Mine's is Rogue One.
That is my list.
Empire, Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, Return of the Jedi, Attack of the Clones, Solo, Last Jedi, and Phantom Menace. So those are our top 11 movies. Yeah, they're almost.
And we don't have any more movies except for the animated movie that we gotta watch.
Yeah, we are done with the movies. So Not a Trekkie is officially done reviewing all the movies.
They need to hurry up and make another movie.
Yeah. So our next cast will be kind of a shoot the shit of everything we went through, and kind of just us freestyling it and just having it more just a fun conversation about everything Star Wars and
of all 11
movies,
you know what I mean,
all the 11 movies, all the stuff we went through, all the shit and giggles that we had, all the things that we had to go through to watch them and things like that. We'll give you all the gist and jab of everything like that, so you can actually listen to that. And those shit casts are fun, so you get a good laugh out of that. After that, we will start The Mandalorian, season 1.
We're going to give you the latest of the shows because this is a show that everybody needs to watch.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We have shows that we could start now. You know what I mean? Like Rebel Ones and no, fuck yeah, exactly. Fuck that. Let's go to like the best story. You know what I mean? Like besides Rogue One, Mandalorian is the best fucking story.
No,
you know what I mean? Like it is so good. And shouts out to Jon Favreau. Keep doing your thing, buddy.
Yep.
Keep doing it. Tell them to shut up as much as you possibly can.
Yep.
Let me get my fucking props because he's the fucking man, bro. He is. He's the man.
Yep. So yeah. So we'll be going through Mandalorian season 1 and then season 2, and then we'll probably do shit after that too. So, those are really the next 3 casts in the future. So stay tuned for more Not a Trekkie. There is a lot of stuff. If you actually are a fan of the Star Wars figures, there's a shitload that they just announced on Hasbro Pulse. Check those out.
Everybody can go to Target right now and get a build to scale. It's like I I forget. It's a model figure.
Yeah.
They have a model figure of Boba Fett,
Yeah.
right? Which is pretty dope. And then they got like an X-wing and then something else. You can get it at Target. It's like $30. I plan on getting them, and like you can build them together and build it
Cool.
up, and you can repaint it. You can do whatever you want with it.
Cool.
It's like for for the model hobbyers out there.
Yeah.
Go and check that out.
Yeah. Hasbro Pulse announced a shitload of Star Wars figures coming out as well. They have new shit.
Did you ever get that Mandalorian ship?
It doesn't come in until like later this year.
You pre-ordered that shit like a year ago.
Yeah, it was that's how they do those. The Sentinel just came out, and I'm waiting for that to come in.
I was thinking about starting to collect the old school figures.
Which one? Like the old Star Wars figures?
Yeah, like the old ones.
Like
you
the
know what I mean?
Kenners?
But
Yeah,
the Kenners, and then maybe like the new because they're coming out with the new line of them.
I think honestly, you probably best bet doing the newer line of them than the original.
Oh yeah,
ones.
because they're fucking so expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been looking on Mercari, and I've been looking at like a lot of like Let Go and Offer Up stuff. Like there's pretty decent bundles out there, and Game On actually has a lot of the old figures as well.
Oh, cool.
They have the original not Mandalorian, the original Millennium Falcon, the Kenner 1976.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
They built that toy before they even came up with the Millennium Falcon. And we had that conversation on my birthday.
Yeah.
And what did he say? He was like, "Doesn't it look better on the shelf than you buying it?" I was like, "Yeah, 100%." He also had the real Ghostbusters house, Firehouse, which is dope. I fucking love Game On.
I was never like a big fan of the Star Wars toys, like the Kenner ones. I never cared for them. So like me seeing the original ones and like that, it doesn't give me any like any nostalgic feels to it because I never cared for them. But the new ones.
Well, you weren't really a Star Wars dude either.
No, it wasn't even a Star Wars thing. But my cousin had the figures and stuff. I just thought their figures were trash. Like I used to like the G.I. Joes because they were fully bendable and stuff. These guys were like stiff arms,
like
stiff legs.
This era of toys, like to me, that defines that era was probably these toys and like the Migos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which Target just came out with the best Migo ever.
Oh, the one that Stanley had his.
The Stanley, it's a Migo of Stanley, and he's grabbing his balls. It's fucking awesome. I don't know if that's just the way it ended up being.
Yeah, that's the one you got.
I have pictures. And I got the one with him grabbing his balls. It's fucking awesome. Because Stan Lee is probably one of the most gangster people who ever lived on this planet.
Yeah.
He is quintessentially Shakespeare of our era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I honestly think you should check if you actually are looking into collecting Star Wars figures. Check into their vintage line. Which are the 3-inch scale ones. They're small.
Okay.
That's the one I'm getting the Mandalorian shit for. It's for those figures.
Yeah. But they just dropped the real Ghostbusters versions of them. They're just a little bit bigger. They're like 4 inches.
Yeah. So they have
those ones are really good too. You can find them at Walmart.
Yeah.
They're fucking nice. They're so cool.
So the Star Wars vintage set, are like they're $12.99 instead of being $20 each. And they pretty much look 100% like the 6-inch figure. They just scaled 3 inches. I'll show you the Mandalorian one.
Yeah, man. You just send me the link, man. I'll go and check it out.
Yeah.
I just man, we dive down into the toy world so crazy, man. We're gonna have to start a toy podcast.
Yeah, it's too much. So much toys.
Way too much going on,
but
man.
Yeah,
way too much.
we plan to like do some unboxings and shit like that, and once we get those things going, we could get.
Well, we got the camera for it, so.
Yeah. So I plan to do some of the Hasbro, the Power Ranger stuff, and the Turtle stuff because I have so much shit to open. So much shit to open.
Yeah, man. If you guys looked in my bedroom, it's just like wow. I wish when I get my own spot, my own space, like I'm a single guy, I get a separate room. I dedicate a room to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's when I'll start opening up boxes. Right now, everything's in boxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm actually trying to downsize a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's things that I cared about a couple of years ago that I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Essentially,
But they're also they are investments.
Yeah,
These
they
things they are accumulate depending on rarity. They do accumulate money. You know, like me and you, we collectively own every single Power Ranger Hasbro thing.
Yeah.
In 10, 15, 20 years, that is going to be a treasure trove. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we will be revered in the Power Ranger collectible world because we owned every single one of them. Shouts out to Hasbro Pulse. If you're not part of Hasbro Pulse, sign up now. They have the contracts for everything, for all the new Star Wars stuff, Power Ranger stuff, Ghostbusters. They have everything.
They have a fucking
Transformers.
A transforming Optimus Prime.
Which is the dopest thing in the world, and it's $700.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, that's worth it. I'm not gonna buy it, but that's worth it. I'm not a Transformer guy like that.
Same here.
Would you put Transformers in a morphing cast?
Not really. It's its own entity. Transformers is huge. Transformers is it's
its own thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's bigger. Like honestly, I would say like as popularity scale, I think Transformers is bigger than Power Rangers. Like it's been there that long.
Well, it's been there longer, bro.
Yeah,
it's been there for
100%.
40 years.
I love,
you know what
honestly, I wouldn't mind like maybe as a bonus cast we do like some of the Transformers stuff.
Well, once we get our Patreon going, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So I wouldn't mind doing Transformers. I was a big fan. I love Transformers. I never got into the toys because they were always expensive. I never got into the toys because they were expensive. But damn, I sometimes I see them now. I'm like, damn. Like yesterday, oh shit, I bought one the other day.
Yeah.
I bought fucking Optimus Primal from the Beast Wars. Remember he was the gorilla and shit.
Yeah.
I saw that at fucking Target. And I was like, yo, this is fucking dope. And I lined up.
It's like I gotta buy it. Fuck.
And then I'm like, fuck.
My bank account.
Why am I buying this? Why am I buying this anyway?
Wow.
Yeah. So this is not a Trekkie. I guess we can wrap this up.
Yeah, no, it's a good. I thought it was pretty good.
This is our solo movie verdict. Again, next month we'll be doing a shoot the shit, and then after that we'll start Mandalorian. So definitely check out and stay tuned for those. Please follow us. Go ahead.
This was the last movie of my intro to Not a Trekkie.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like we started Not a Trekkie how long ago?
Last year.
We're a solid year in, and we went through 11 movies, so 11 months, right?
Yeah. Yeah, about
12
months.
12 months. No, we
like
probably
a year, over a year, because we did a couple of shoot the shit
Robot
episodes.
Chickens. We did the Robot Chickens. We did a lot, but everything that I mentioned in the intro is now confirmed down pat. You know what I mean?
So you might have to make one for the Mandalorian.
I might for the TV shows. I don't know. You know,
you'll see.
We'll see what happens.
All right, Red Cycle Inc. Follow us on Spotify is the easiest way to get all our podcasts on there. They're easy to find and capture. We'll be on Apple Podcasts soon, so be aware of that. Make sure you give us ratings when we actually do. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and SoundCloud. All Mark with the Mic. Follow Red Cycle Inc. on all the same things: WordPress, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, SoundCloud, and YouTube, all Red Cycle Inc. Again, Spotify, Red Cycle Inc. Follow that. Give us all of that. Follow all our other casts. You have the Weekly Wrestling Babble and the Get Spider Short podcast. We also got the Shell Shack, the Morphin Cast, the Not a Trekkie, and the Game Array podcast. So follow all that, please. And follow Tenacious T.
Yes, you can follow me at Twitter on Twitter at Tenacious T RC Inc. I'm trying to get more established on there. I'm going to start posting probably weekly every single one of our casts and tagging it, so you guys can go and check it out there. You can also follow me on my own personal Instagram page at T_DA_tots. That's TOTS. Also, you can also follow me on my Rock and Roll Debate page, where we take two artists or two groups or two drummers or whatever it is, rock and roll oriented, where we bring them together and we debate who's better, not to negate, but to appreciate both, but to see whose preferences that is. That's called Debate the Greats. That's debate underscore the underscore greats. Actually been doing a lot of stuff on there and have been getting a lot of positive feedback on that. So I appreciate you guys 100%. Always a shout out to Game On, a retro video game store based out on Long Island. Stationed in 2 places, one in Miller Place, one in Smithtown, satisfying all your retro video game needs. Everything from, Atari to PlayStation 4 now, because the PlayStation 4 is starting to usher itself out as we bring in the new era of consoles. We have Switch games. We have, it's just everything that you can think of is there. You can go there and not even spend $1 and just play games. You know what I mean? Like they have so many different, arcade games and TVs, boob tubes, as I like to put it, where you get to play different games. You can sit there and just talk all the time. Tristan and Jay. Tristan is the owner of both of them. Tristan stations himself out of Miller Place. Jay stations himself out of Smithtown. Both are just cool, down-to-earth people who only care about this world and giving back to the community. That's why we shout them out on every single podcast. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to Mind of an Artist. My friend of ours, Jerry, he came out with his clothing line called Drugs and Demons. Very talented. Clothing line is awesome. I wear his hats all the time. You can follow him on Drugs and Demons on Instagram, and also Mind of an Artist on Instagram. Always a shouts out to my mentor, who's the one that brought me in to the Power Ranger world, my boy Mike, a.k.a. Mike Wazowski, because without him, I would not be as passionate as I am about the Star Wars. And always a shouts out to my brother who rides out with me while we watch these yearly. Shouts out to both of them.
Okay. We'll wrap this up. Peace out. Laters. And always remember, fuck Zordon.
Follow the Jankies.
Follow the Jinkies, too. And fuck Zordon. We don't like him.
Well.
Fuck him
fuck Splinter, too, man.
Fuck through all of them, through all 4 casts. Fuck Zordon.
I'm pretty sure we can find out of every cast that we do somebody that we fucking don't like.
Yeah. I guess. Who are you? Jar Jar Binks. Fuck Jar Jar Binks.
If he was Sith, though, I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he ended up being Sith the whole time, that would be just fucking epic.
And he just there to annoy you, and that's his evil power.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking epic. Bro, it's epic. Epic.
All right. Peace out.